Hey guys, I'm Chronos, and this is my submission video for AGDQ 2019 for Skyrim Main Quest. This run has been featured in the past with runners Wymore, Dr. T Chops, and Wall of Spain. Each of their runs features more and more game-breaking glitches, and this time I want to show some more new things that have been found in the run. So I'm going to get started. So the game starts from a start save, and time's going to start once the load screen goes away. So 3, 2, 1, start. Okay. So this beginning section is pretty difficult. Features a lot of parkour and pretty precise jumps on these sections. And what we're going to do is a glitch called load warping. So what load warping does is it takes your character from one save's location to another save. So we'll be able to do that right here, which is the cave's exit right here. So we're going to line up ourselves pretty precisely there. And we're going to unbind our hands.
Looks like we should.
So if you do quick save and quick loads, which is when the screen starts stuttering, it allows us to do a bunch of stuff in this game. One of those things is dialogue skipping, which is what we did there. And we're going to enter the cave and quit to main menu so we can load the save right here to do the load warp, and that's a pretty precise trick. It's nearly frame perfect, but not really a frame perfect trick. So now we're going to fast travel back to Helged so that we can get a horse. And horses in this game do a lot of really weird and cool glitches. So we're going to run all the way up this stone trail to get a horse at a pretty precise location. And while we're doing that, I'm going to explain the new trick, which is called ghost tilting, because there's not a lot of time in between where we're going to do this horse tilt and the ghost tilt. So ghost tilting is very similar to a horse tilt in that you move at tremendously high speeds, except for the fact that when you're doing a ghost tilt, you have the properties of a ghost, which means you can do things like go through walls and through the ground, and you keep a fixed height. So what we're going to do is punch this hunter off the horse and set up our horse tilt save right here. And what we're going to do is get off the horse at a very precise angle, and this gives us a lot of speed. And so once we load the save, we're going to go at high speeds, discover a few places, and then land precisely in the water with a trick called surfing. And by doing this, we keep our horse tilt speed, and we're able to discover locations as well. So we get to Battleborn Farm, we punch the guard, and we're going to go to Dragon's Reach for a part later in the quest line. So now we're going to fast travel back to Battleborn Farm, and we're going to set up the ghost tilt right here. If you use a tanning rack, you can make a save, and that's the property that gives you the properties of ghost tilt. So once we do a horse tilt, we're going to load that save, and it's going to give us this insane amount of speed, and we're able to go through all of these mountains right here. And we'll use this to discover quite a few locations. So right here, I'm messing up the tilt by gaining too much speed. It's very easy to mess up. Hopefully this one works. A lot of these tricks take a couple tries. And either way, this is much faster. Loaded the wrong save there. This should work. So now we're moving at high speeds. We're going to discover a few locations. Like this one right here. Don't know why it's not giving me. There we go. So I discovered Old Hroldan. Going to make my way to Riverwood, and we're going to stop here and discover Throne of the World. So now the reason why we discovered Old Hroldan here is so we can do a horse tilt all the way to Karspire. And this is the place where you learn more about the dragons and all the history with the blades. And by doing this, we can discover it pretty early on instead of having to take a carriage to Markarth and everything. So we're going to go to the right location. This was the wrong mountain. And once again, all of these tilts are pretty precise. And there we go. So now we're here at Karspire, which is right there. Wasn't the best tilt, but still pretty fast. So now we're going to do a new tilt right here to go all the way up to the Skyhaven Temple, another part of the main quest. And we're going to transfer that save speed in another fast travel. And because when you fast travel, the game keeps your speed as well. So we're going to fast travel to Throne of the World and make our way all the way to Riften, which is southeast. And this is okay. Normally you want to land further out there, but this is pretty fine. As long as we're close to Riften, this is pretty good. We're going to just go into Riften, punch a guard, or punch the horse rather, because punching horses is faster in this game. Get arrested, discover Riften, and now we're going to do Vendor Glitch. So Vendor Glitch is a glitch that allows us to get a lot of money from the vendor by selling the vendor's own items to himself. It's a pretty quick glitch, so it's pretty hard to see. But what I'm doing is I'm selling the vendor's own items to him right there. So now I'm going to do another ghost hill, this time at a very weird location.
Where do you want to go?
So we're going to Dawnstar, and Dawnstar is not a particular part of main quest in casual playthroughs. Like if you were going to try to do the Skyrim main quest line, you never, I don't believe you ever go to Dawnstar. But we're going to use Dawnstar for this one tanning rack right here. So we're going to do Ghost Tilt save right here. And we're going to do the horse tilt into the ghost tilt right here. And we need a lot of speed, but not too much. And the game can crash pretty easily here. So we're going to make our way all the way to Septimus, which is right around here. It's pretty hard to find and control. Then we're going to head west, all the way to Solitude, discover one of these farms. There we go. And now we're going to stop right at the Thalmor Embassy. And once we do the quick save, quick load, we warp all the way to the top. Some textures didn't load in, but that's fine. And we're going to take the items to skip half the main quest line. So now we discovered basically everything we need for the main quest. And now we're going to go to Septimus and get a lexicon to get the Elder Scroll. So normally most people would talk to Septimus, but in the speedrun we can just sort of pickpocket the items off of him. Just like that. So once we do that, we're going to make our way to the Zark by doing a horse tilt at Battleborn Farm right here. And hopefully I'll be able to get a precise horse tilt. So I'm going to do a horse tilt. And redirect myself to move forward. And the game crashed. This is a typical crash if you try to load the game while you're, or after doing the horse tilt. So we just do the horse tilt again. This is the split there. I moved a bit too far there, so my horse tilt got messed up. This is a pretty precise trick. And we're going to go all the way here. So hopefully, okay, we didn't get the cool skip, but this is fine. We can just sort of clip in through this middle wall to enter Mizark Tower from there. And now we're going to do this puzzle. It's a fairly simple puzzle once you memorize it. It's just this button 4 times, this button twice, and then once this button opens, we're going to press it. And we're going to enter in right here. Okay, so now that we got the Elder Scroll, we're going to talk to Esbern to get him to Delphine, progress the main quest. So we're just going to run through the Ratway right here. So we're just going to run past all of these enemies and jump around this gap because of the infinite sprint glitch, which I should have mentioned earlier, but it's a fairly small glitch that we use throughout the run by sprinting and then quick saving and quick loading. And we're going to just take a bucket right there. Buckets in this game are pretty useful for clipping through walls and stuff. So we'll be using them to clip through one particular wall. So now here's Esbern right here. And Esbern is going to tell us some stuff. And he takes a while to open this one door right here.
This one always.
You could do a shovel trick by jumping up onto here and through the wall, or through this gap right here, but it's pretty slow. Running up is faster. So once Espen opens the door, we're going to do another load warp once we finish his conversation about dragons returning, because that's the point of the main quest line, is to stop the dragons from coming back. So we're going to make a save, load the load warp save, and do the load warp. Yep. So now once we do that, we're going to head to Riften and back to Riverwood. So what we're doing here is we're just manipulating the time in the game. So I got a weird enemy bug because I fast traveled to Riften, and there's probably some enemy that's randomly mad at me. That's fine. And now we're going to make our way to Riverwoods Inn right here, which is where Delphine is, and we're going to learn more histories of the dragons. So normally they take a long time to do this conversation, so we're going to just wait outside here. So I got pretty unlucky, which is I got bugs here, and bugs normally is a run killer, but with pretty advanced tricks of entering and exiting this door at pretty precise times, can sort of manipulate the AI in this game. So now they're outside. We're going to wait a little bit here just to make sure that they finish their dialogue downstairs. It's kind of just manipulating enemies here. So now I believe they should be done talking. There we go. So now we can head to Skyrim Temple. Do a wait just to get this dialogue from Esbern to open the way to Skyrim Temple, and normally the animation takes forever of opening the door, so we just go over here and get married because we have a lot of time waiting for that thing to open. So here we're going to talk to Marimel, and if you exit the dialogue right here at pretty precise moments, you can skip it. Pretty cool. And we're going to just throw a bunch of money at this guy, get married, and arrange the ceremony for tomorrow.
What do you need? You wish to be married?
So now we head to Skyhaven Temple right after doing that, because the door finally finished opening. And we're going to do a lot of time manipulation right here. So we're doing specific waits to get Esbern and Delphine up the stairs. I'm going to skip a few lines of dialogue, which is why my screen's stuttering right there. And we're going to pick up a couple Dragon Banes on this table by doing a duplication glitch. I'm going to skip a few more lines here. Do a wait again. And we're just manipulating the dialogue here to speed this up tremendously. Normally this part takes a couple minutes to play through with how long they speak, but with these speedrun tricks and precision, we can skip this section very quickly. And my game crashed there. Game crashes a decent amount, but it's to be expected. So we're going to head to the throat of the world to talk to Arngir to learn about the shout that they used to defeat the dragons in the past, which is Dragonrend. And we're just going to clip through this wall. The reason why we don't go through the main entrance is because it's blocked, or locked, because we didn't complete a prerequisite quest for it. But for some reason the back entrance is still opened.
Where did you learn of that? They have all
And we're just going to talk to Arngir. It's pretty precise dialogue right here, because if you choose the wrong dialogue, he gets pretty angry. I chose the wrong dialogue there, but that's fine. And we're just going to make him go outside by doing a wait. Now we're doing a couple quick save quick loads right here to speed up a part later, or like in a very short amount of time. So right here, if he says core, we got the skip. There we go. That was kind of slow, but pretty fun. And now we learned Clear Skies. And we're supposed to use it to go all the way to the top of the mountain. But we already discovered Throne of the World, so we didn't need that. Now Mercurio goes away for our wedding. And we're going to just talk to Mr. Mario. Parthenax right here, the voice actor of Mario. And we're just going to learn some, or do some Tinbach. I messed it up. Okay. And Tinbach means talk, or conversation. Just dragon speech things. So right here we're going to do some more dialogue, learn more about the history of Alduin and stuff. Once we do this fire breath shout on him to prove that we're Dragonborn. Oh.
Some perhaps this would very but you
This is a pretty long section.
then it was the Kel which is why
so now once we finish this conversation, Alvin or Parthenax flies off, and we're going to fast travel away, come back with a pretty strict sequence of quick save and quick loads here. And by doing that, we set up an Elder Scroll glitch, which allows us to read the Elder Scroll from anywhere. And we're going to enter into the Temple of Mara to get married and read the Elder Scroll as we enter in. And what this does is it takes us through the cutscene, but it also leaves the area where we're supposed to get married. So we fail our marriage, and when you fail in your marriage, you gain control of your character. So normally you don't have control of your character in cutscene. So by doing this, now we do, and we can speed up this cutscene tremendously by doing this. So now we're going to head away. Get into this cart. Head to Windhelm. And we're going to just discover a couple more places for the main quest. So here we're going to breathe fire at this guard for him to take us to the palace. And discover Palace of the Kings. go to High Hrothgar and back to Throne of the World so we can learn Dragon Rend.
Let those that watch from Sovngarde envy us this day.
Right here. And we're just going to let this play out a little. Fast travel away and back, and we're going to speed it up a bit more. By killing all of our allies right here who are supposed to die. So this one dies by fire. This one, we're just skipping his dialogue. And we're going to skip this guy's dialogue too. And once he says Foul Kell right there, we go to Dragon's Reach, talk to Jarl Balgruuf, and somehow still here. In fact, everyone's still here like thousands of years in the past. And we're just going to tell him about the attack in Helgen that takes place thousands of years in the future. Makes sense. So right here we're going to defeat Alduin, which is pretty precise. Right here. It's pretty hard to land that shot because the Alduin's invisible due to the white screen. And we're going to attack Alduin at this specific spot. So we only take damage from his wing, which is his weakest attack. And we're also doing the glitch called Infinite Power Attack by clicking at a very specific order to not lose stamina. And now we defeated Alduin in a pretty easy fight. And we're going to go up here, which is where Parthenax lands. Skip Alduin's dialogue. And head to Dragon's Reach. So now once we get to Dragon's Reach, we're going to do the Peace Council split, which is the most notorious split in the speedrun because of how long and boring it is. But we're going to do some RTA strats to make it a lot more enjoyable, and it's a bit faster RTA time. So we're going to do all of Balgruuf's dialogue, where he says he wants both sides to agree to the truce. We fire at this guy so we can get warped out of Dragon's Reach pretty quickly. And we're going to talk to Arngir to help have him set up the Peace Council. And once again, we're going to clip through the wall again here. Okay, the bucket disappeared on me. That's fine. Buckets in this game are pretty weird. Okay, and we're going to talk to Arngir, who's right outside.
Alduin? I feared as much. We are not warriors. You misunderstand. I see. Parthenax.
So now we're going to go back to Riften and tell Mercurio that we're sorry for suddenly teleporting out by using the Elder Scroll. I mean, no one could have expected that, yeah?
I can't believe you're... Alright.
And we're going to just get married again, hopefully. So we're going to go back to Maramel, ask him to arrange our wedding again.
spirit. Forgiveness.
And we're going to leave Riften and finish up the council split. There we go. So here we're going to attack this guard
You have committed crimes smart.
so we can get to Solitude to talk to Tullius in Castle Tower. This game can crash a lot in here. Got pretty lucky that it didn't crash.
Do you have some reason?
And we're going to just talk to him a bit more.
Why don't you
Speak with
And tell him that the Greybeards want to arrange the peace council so then we can deal with the dragons.
you met? Yes, yes,
And then we'll do the same with Ulfric.
what is it?
So we're going to head out to Palace here. Talk to Ulfric, who's just inside.
No secret.
And we're not going to run across the top of the table because we do not want to pick up an item like a platter and steal it by accident. That would be pretty funny, because then you won't be able to complete the quest because they get angry at you, or you would waste a ton of time. So now here, we're going to actually go back to Riften, I believe. Yeah, let's go back to Riften to get married. Or we could go back and do Peace Council first. Yeah, so what I did just there was to manipulate time. So then here, it would be at night, so I can fail the marriage a lot quicker. So we're just going to start Peace Council by entering into there, sitting in this chair, and waiting an hour.
I should not have agreed.
And once we fail marriage right here,
Here,
we can just talk to Ulfric, and we're just going to speed this up a bit. So we're going to exit out, enter back in, and we're going to wait outside a little bit, just so the conversation inside takes place. It's not really a strict amount of time that we have to wait. We just have to wait a little bit long enough so then everyone can speed up their dialogue. Normally this sequence takes like 3 minutes in-game, like RTA, if you do the council by quick saving and quick loading, which is the speedrun way of in-game time. But because RTA strats, this is a way faster way of doing it. So here we're just entering and exiting twice, so that we can get this quest to be completed. Walk down here, and Esmond's going to talk to us, tell us how to call Odahviing to get to Skuldothin, which is where Alduin is, and we're going to go trap him at Dragon's Reach. So now that we've learned Odahviing, or the Dragon Call shout, we're going to go up to Balgriff here, tell him we're ready,
My men know what.
And we can shout through the doors here. And Odoving should appear right in front. And if we do a wait right here, as soon as my shout gets ready again, can enter into this room and do shout, and we land it on Odoving directly. Sometimes this guard doesn't die, and the dragon just makes a second swoop by. But this time he's been pretty good to us. So now he should come follow me, and waiting for him to breathe fire. Sometimes he doesn't do it, so that was pretty interesting. So we exit, enter back in, talk to Odoving, and we're going to find out where Alduin is, and it turns out he's in Sovngarde, and he's going to take us to where the portal is. So we're going to pull the chain, do a wait, skip a few lines of dialogue, and get couriered. Courier has a random chance of appearing. So now we're going to head to Skoldafn, and to skip the flying animation, we're just going to fast travel away. And because that fast travel the flying animation takes a while to do, like 20 seconds. So now we're going to do a horse tilt to the portal. And this horse tilt is a pretty difficult one, because we have to go to a pretty precise location and not go too far and not get stuck. Okay, so this is fine. And now we're in Sovngarde, which is where the final boss of Alduin is. And first we're going to go into the Hall of Valor, which is right here. We're going to do a last horse tilt to get there faster. It saves like 15 seconds or so. And we don't want a lot of speed for it. So we're going to redirect ourselves to move forward here and land precisely. Missed the tilt there, but that's fine. We can just do it again. And land here.
What brings you where?
And we're going to kill or fight soon. Takes one power attack. And a fire brush out. And we're just going to speed up this last part of the game by entering and exiting this door a lot. So once we walk up to these warriors right here, we're just going to exit and enter. And we can do this pretty quickly by being in third person. So we just enter and exit a few times, wait for these guys to come outside, and once we do it, okay, that guy didn't go all the way through to the other side of the bridge. Occasionally it doesn't happen. And now we're going to go do 3 waves of clear skies and then defeat Alduin, which is a fitting end to the Skyrim speedrun. So clear skies, skip a few lines of dialogue, and we can just wait here. You can just do whatever here. We're just waiting for this cutscene to play out. And just shout occasionally to clear the skies. And then after this second shout, we're going to make our way over here. So then we're prepared to climb up to the top to hit Alduin with Dragon Rend very quickly. So we do our last shot of clear skies. Skip 2 lines of dialogue here. And we're going to climb on these rocks and wait for Alduin to appear. And shout him. And once we do that, we just kill Alduin, and time stops once Alduin dies. And time. So that was a 30:27, which is a pretty good time. That's third place time, you could say, if you don't count my own run. Or like a 4th place time, I could say. Which is a pretty good time. So that's the in-game time is 30 minutes and 27 seconds. If I compare against the real time, it's 40 minutes and 12 seconds, which is pretty decent for a marathon run. I believe the fastest marathon run at AGDQ was 46 minutes by Dr. T-Chops. So I would put my estimate at around 42 minutes, depending on the hardware of the computers that we use. For instance, I'm using my laptop to play and record this, so it doesn't have the best processing power. So my load times take a lot longer than most. So if we take that into account, this run was about average, so I would put my estimate at around 42 minutes. And that should be it for my Skyrim submission video. So thanks for watching, guys, and hope to see you there.